you've had a great third week of this new year. I'm on the upswing from my cold, which is really beating me down. It had me absolutely exhausted this week. As you guys know, I am about 2 weeks out from the estimated due date of our second daughter being born, which is very exciting. And I'm going to keep these up as long as I can. Obviously, if I'm in the hospital, probably won't happen. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. These are just my opinions on stocks. So I will give you a little bit of a week in review and my watch list as well. So looking into this past week, we saw some great low float runners. We had SGY on Friday with 4.9 million. We also had ETRM, which has 1.6 million in the float. GLBS was a big runner on Tuesday. It was last Friday that it got halted when it was running up. I was stuck in the halt over the weekend, and I did my research and I was looking at it, and I was confident that the short float that was sold on Friday was basically going to panic on Monday. So I didn't worry about the drop. I went ahead and let it rebound, and then sure enough, that short float that was there, because they were anticipating that there was going to be a dilution of shares and it didn't happen, ended up causing it to squeeze on Monday. And it's been pretty active this week, but I do see that the past 2 days that it has spiked up and gone red on the day. So I'm not really interested in looking at it on Monday. I'm definitely looking at SGY. Also, ZYNE on Friday was a nice runner as well. Thursday I did have a dentist appointment, so didn't really trade too much, did a lot more watching. And basically, so what's happened with these is that I've looked at them and I see where they're going, I see where the momentum is. I'm paying attention to how much is being traded throughout the day versus the actual float amount, as well as the prior day's short float volume. So the percentage of the volume from the prior day that was short. So if you look back at SGY, I did post it on my blog as well, cjanetrade.com. You can see the statistics for the past 2 days for Thursday's volume and for Friday's volume, where basically the stock was suggested as a longer-term value stock for an energy stock. And it happens to be, as I was saying, a low float stock. So on Thursday, about 59% of the volume for the day was short. Well, sure enough, you see that there's a spike right at open of shorts covering, and also momentum of buyers hearing about the news, and also just new buyers in general. Then you see that there's a little bit of a sell-off, and then there's a resurgence. You know, some people might have shorted it. Well, guess what? It didn't really tank like it was expected to. Now, these low float stocks can really be very volatile. So it can be like a roller coaster. But a roller coaster goes up slowly. These tend to go up quickly and come down quickly. However, with SGY, I've seen, if you look back in the chart, right, because you can see the history of a stock somewhat. It's not indicative of what the future will be, but you will see that it is a multi-day runner. It does tend to run for 3 to 4 days, and then it will have a sell-off. The positive news of it being a value stock behind it, plus the fact now that 49 or 48% of the volume on Friday was short as well. So there is the potential for SGY to really run again on Monday. It is a lower float stock. We did see more than the float trade hands on Friday, which in what we've been following lately, that when that happens, it does tend to continue for a couple of days. Not guaranteed, of course, but this is going to definitely be one that's on my watch list. Also, I'm really excited. We're working on the book. It's all about different traders' experiences, which to me was, Market Wizards and Momo Traders were 2 books that really inspired me in the beginning of my trading journey. And so it inspired me to write a book as well in the similar style. And so that's what I'm going forward with. So that's hopefully going to be off to the editors within the next 2 weeks. I'm super excited. And that's it, guys. Always stay positive, and I will give you my watch list for the week. So looking at longs, SGY, as I said, above 9.95. It's on Friday, it traded above the 200-day moving average. I don't really use that, but I just happened to notice that. So it broke it in a bullish manner. We also have INFI above $2. It's in gap fill mode up to 4.40. And it does have 38 million in the float, so it has the potential to run, but it's not going to run as fast as, say, a 5 million or 1 million float stock. PRKR, if it breaks above 3. We have IOTS above 3.98. And OLED, this is going to be more one of my longer term holdings. You can see that it's sort of in a triangle pattern right now. It was just mentioned by Barron's as more of a value long-term investment stock. So I am looking for that to really surge above $60.40, more higher price stock. But it does have that potential. It does have multi-dollar movement within a day. So you could see, just put it on your radar, set a price alert, and go ahead and just track it. And one of the big things too for finding all these momentum stocks that I'm finding, I do use Trade Ideas, and they are actually having an open house coming up February 6th. So I will post all that down below as well. It's a great deal. You know, it's always hard to find alerting and scanning software that you like, and it's good to be able to try it out beforehand. Obviously I'm partial because I use it, and it's $8.88 for a week trial, which is amazing. As far as the shorts that I have going on my watch list for the week, we do have Rite Aid, RAD, if it breaks below 7. It had bad news, the merger was not going to happen, and was the second largest sell-off of the day. We also have BMY, if it breaks below 48.90. We have SGYP below 575. SXC below 10. And AKAO if it goes below 1680. AKAO is a lower float stock, so it might not be easy to get shares to short. However, it has had a strong surge up lately, so it could have that surge down as well once it does start to sell off. Because like I was saying, these low float stocks, if you are able to get shares to short, then you can see that once the demand for the stock disappears, it will drop like a rock, and you can easily make profits on it. So that's it, guys. As I always say, Carpe Profit, seize a profit one time. Seize the profits one at a time, and go ahead and grow your account. And hopefully I'll be here again next week. Otherwise, you'll be hearing about the little one that's in our life now. Have a great one, guys.